go right in and probably kind of catch them on the surprise a little bit. So can't wait. It's I look back, it's only been, 4 months, but it's been a long 4 months for me. I'm ready to get home, have some burgers and hang out with the family.
Well, let's follow him in.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow!
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow! Wow!
Screaming inside.
Hey friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Tuesday, March 5th, 2024. Well, I just shared some heartbreaking news about Garrison Brown and what is going on in the Brown family today. And Janelle, Mary, and other family members have released statements about the ongoing situation, which I would like to share with you and provide some more insight about what is going on. The news was first reported by TMZ, and then the family released an article through People magazine, and Kody and Janelle actually issued a statement jointly about Garrison to People magazine, along with TLC releasing a statement expressing their sadness to the Brown family. So the article that the Browns have been sharing online is from People magazine, and then separately, Mary Brown has released a statement, Janelle Brown released a statement, and Christine Brown has not yet responded or said anything publicly at this point. Gwendolyn Brown has announced that she is shutting down her Patreon, and given what's happened today, but as far as the kids, it doesn't appear that the kids have responded yet at this time. So for those of you that have not heard, Garrison Brown, age 25, he ended his life today, and he was 25 years old. He was a student at Northern Arizona University. He was a member of the National Guard. He had recently just adopted 3 cats and was a lover of photography, photographing stars, and he loved going on adventures. He was super passionate and a loving brother, very protective of his siblings, super close with his brother Gabriel, and just all around a light and a rock to his siblings as they were navigating a really tough time as their family was being split apart. So the official article from People magazine says that Janelle confirmed the news by saying, Kody and I are deeply saddened to announce the loss of our beautiful boy, Robert Garrison Brown. He was a bright spot in the lives of all of who knew him. His loss will leave such a big hole in our lives that it takes our breath away. We ask that you please respect our privacy and join us in honoring his memory. And then the Lieutenant Charles M. Hernandez told People that on March 5th, 2024, Flagstaff police officers responded to a report of a death inside a home, and they discovered Mr. Brown on the floor from an apparent self-inflicted wound. And he says, at this time, there is no indication of any foul play. And TLC issued a statement to People which said, we are devastated to hear of the tragic loss of Garrison Brown. We extend our deepest sympathies, heartfelt condolences to the Brown family at this difficult time. And then on the family's approved article, they discussed the challenges that he and Kody were having related to the COVID rules and sort of the separation. And they shared this quote from Janelle, which said, in a confessional interview later, Janelle expressed concern over her children's strained relationship with their father. I've worried about my son's mental health. Gabriel feels everything very, very deeply, but he's also the kid who doesn't say anything. And she said before, adding that Garrison just seems angry or sadder. He's just not as happy-go-lucky as he used to be. In an episode that aired in May of 2023, Kody said, I haven't been in touch with Gabriel and Garrison for quite a while. I'm pretty sad that I'm not close to them anymore. There's just so many things in our lives that we did that were rich together, you know, just special experiences. I think that and hope that in time we'll just get over this and that we'll be safe being back around each other. Right now, there's just not really an open door with Gabe and Garrison. They're really not willing to engage with me. So that's the official word from the family. And Mary Brown also released her own statement on her Instagram and said, "Our family is deeply saddened to announce the loss of our beautiful boy, Robert Garrison Brown. He was a bright spot in the lives of all who knew him. This loss will leave such a big hole in our lives and it takes our breath away. We ask that you please respect our privacy during this time and join us in honoring his memory. Garrison, you are loved and will be missed." Kody also shared his own post. He hasn't been back to Instagram in several years. It's the same statement. It's switched and says, "Janelle and I are deeply saddened to announce the loss of our beautiful boy, Robert Garrison Brown. He was a bright spot in our lives of all who knew him. Our loss will leave such a big hole in our lives that it takes our breath away. We ask that you please respect our privacy and join us in honoring his memory." And they shared a photograph of him in his fatigues with his work and the National Guard, and then a photograph that he had recently shared from traveling in Europe. 6 days ago, he shared a photograph of this cat that he had gotten, which said, the newest addition to my home, Miss Buttons. She's 9 years old and was on the line for euthanasia, but my savior complex couldn't suffice." And he had 3 other cats. Over the fall, he had been traveling and he had been in Spain and he had shared photographs from Barcelona and Valencia. He also had posted photographs from Arizona, which he was taking with his camera of the stars. And he was such a talented photographer. He was such an adventurer. He shared photos hiking over the summer without shoes in the desert and in the sand. He was in Greece. He was like in all over the place this past year. He went so many different places. His life was just so rich and so full. And in honor of him, I think one of my favorite memories of him was when he made the decision that he wanted to join the National Guard. And his brother Hunter was in the Air Force and he was going through the academy he was going to the Air Force Academy, and Hunter and he were like kind of arguing about whether or not he wanted to go into the National Guard with the Army or if he was going to go into the Air Force, and they were like arguing about which branch was better. And Garrison, just being Garrison, was just sort of like, I want to be someone that like makes a difference. Like he was really adamant about wanting to be someone that if he had to be called to service, that he could be someone that was on the front lines. And so he made the decision to join the National Guard for the Army. And he went away for his boot camp. And when he went away, he was gone for like 4 months. And he came home, and it was so sweet when he came home and he saw his mom, because he was like so excited to see her that it was that the hug that he gave her that day, it was like he had never hugged her before. It was like a boy finally reuniting with his mommy. And I think what I'll remember most about him is just how much he loved his mom and just how much he loved his family and how much he loved adventure. I have been covering the show for years, and I have watched these kids grow up. He was a little boy when the show started. I also remember what a firecracker he was and how much he and Gabriel used to get on each other's nerves, and they were always like fighting with each other, and they would do things like in front of Kody just to like poke his buttons to just see if their dad would react. And he and Gabriel were constantly like just trying to like get at each other. And even though they would like fight so hard, you could tell that they like loved each other so hard, so that when they became adults and they were dealing with adversity in their family, what I always loved was that despite the frustrations that they seemed to be feeling, that the two of them could like rely on each other and have each other. That's what makes this tragedy so hard, is knowing that Gabriel was the one that found him, and how close he and Gabriel were and how like much those two loved each other, that this is going to be a hole in Gabriel's heart that I just hope with all hope that he reaches out and gets support and gets help and gets love and encouragement and speaks to someone if he needs help. This is going to be a devastating loss to the entire family. This is also a boy. My favorite memory from this last season was when he was at Thanksgiving or Christmas, can't remember which one, and he wanted Christine's help to make the rolls. Like, he loved Christine so much and he wanted to be with her so badly. He would famously tell Christine that he wanted to be wherever she was, no matter where she was for the holidays. Like, anywhere she went, he wanted to be with Christine. And over Zoom, Garrison and Christine made her dinner rolls. His loss is devastating. May you rest in peace, Garrison. You were a light on a show that had a lot of darkness, and your fight for your family was tremendous. Bye, guys.